Hello Philly D and the Defranco Nation Movie Club. My name's Craig the Critic and I'm throwing my 2 cents in about the wild and wonderful whites of West Virginia. Now, before I heard about this movie from you, Phil, I had never heard of this at all. I had no idea what it was about. So I was excited to learn it's a documentary, because I love docs, and it was a good doc. It's a really good documentary about really your quintessential redneck family. It's about the whites, obviously, in West Virginia in a county called Boone County. It has a lot of great representation from sheriffs to lawyers to town folk, and then of course, you know, tons of footage, mainly footage of the actual white family. Fascinating family, disturbing, depressing, super depressing. And at the same time, you know, I kept, as the movie went along, I kept thinking, oh, they're gonna show a really tender, loving side to the family, or they're gonna show something redemptive about these people, and you know, that never really happens. You know, you have the camaraderie of family, but even then, it feels very tenuous, and they're really all just about partying, as they all put it, getting stoned and, you know, just trying not to work and making ends meet in any way they can without working and just making enough money to get by and get high. So it was depressing, and you know these people exist, but to watch an hour and a half of these kind of people is unsettling and eye-opening. One of the more redemptive or hopeful moments in the film has to do with one of the daughters, Kirk, who has, at least we know of, one son who seems to be about 8, 9 years old. She gives birth to another baby, but the baby gets taken away by the state because they know that she is clearly drugged out all the time. And so she goes to rehab in an effort to get back the rights to at least see her daughter and have visitation, hopefully get to a place where she can be a mother to her daughter. And that's probably the most tender and meaningful part of the film, where you actually see this person who's in this clan of absolute self-absorbed, self-destructive people, and she's trying to better herself, if for no other reason than just to be a mother to her daughter. And that love for her daughter drives her to a place towards health and redemption. So that was kind of cool. The other connected part that was really heartbreaking was to watch her young son, Tyler, and just to see him, how he talks about his father, because you can tell that obviously she's been feeding him all sorts of nasty thoughts about this deadbeat dad, and so this kid talks really awful about his deadbeat dad, and then he talks really sad about his mom when she's gone for rehab, and this kid, you're just thinking, is going to be so messed up from the dysfunction of this family. And you see that from generation to generation, you can see how this develops and how this kind of family continues in the dysfunction and the self-destruction that they've created for themselves. And it ends that way, actually. It ends with a montage of the grandchildren playing in a park, and the matriarch of the family talking about how they just don't care, and they love to party, and there's no hope for them, and they're going to hell in a handbasket. And then they show these kids, you know, smoking and running around and swearing at each other, and you're thinking, yep, there you go. That's the moral of the story. The wild and wonderful whites. So, anyway, overall, great documentary. Gotta be in the mood, I guess. It's kind of disturbing and depressing, but it's fascinating enough to keep you interested, and it is really quite a powerful movie. So, yeah, thumbs up for The Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia.